It is time now for the Peter Channel Afternoon News on this Thursday afternoon, September 8th, 2016. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Peter Wiggins, and I hear 12:15 p.m. news and on this Thursday afternoon. And the top story at the 12:15 p.m. hour is Matt Lau loses the war in a battle between the candidates. Russian President Vladimir Putin is very popular in Russia. Polling from the Nevada Center puts him at an 82% approval rating of last month. Gary Johnson sounded about as articulate as Donald Trump when asked about the basic question about Syria. One person is dead after a shooting Thursday morning at Alpine High School in western Texas. The county attorney said details about the shooting at the school in Alpine, a community of about 6,500 people, roughly about 200 miles southeast of El Paso. As it started when a couple of females got into an argument, and then a gun pulled out and started shooting, and the shooter was dead. Washington, former Secretary of State Colin Powell told his successor Hood that he used his own personal computer to communicate with friends and foreign leaders and sent emails without going through the State Department server. A page received by Gideon Ramirez, one of Israel's researchers, has said on Thursday that Soviet-era documents showed that the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas worked in the 1980s for the KGB, not a defunct Russian intelligence agency, with a line. Jerusalem, democracy for the Palestinians suffered another setback on Thursday when the Palestinian High Court ruled that the municipal election scheduled for next month must be postponed because of a dispute between the rival political parties. Brazil, at one heated moment in the impeachment trial of Dilma Rousseff, a senator pushed for ousted, decided that some of the outspoken female colleagues in the chamber needed scolding. Nairobi, the United Nations peacekeeping mission and stuff said on Thursday that it was concerned that members of the civil rights groups in the country were being harassed for speaking to the UN. Alexandria, Virginia, two North Carolina men have been arrested and charged with in connection with a network of computer hackers that allegedly targeted CIA Director John Brennan and other senior government officials. Bank robbery usually has a pretty clear motive, but one man's reason for alleged committing in the crime is far than typical. On Friday, John Ripple, 70, walked into Kansas City's Bank of Labor and handed until a note. Hours after a family in Nebraska reported the disappearance of a 5-year-old boy, investigators found the child locked in a school van and ticketed driving suspicion of child neglect. Police confirmed on Thursday. Arrest is real. Work has begun on above and below ground concrete barrier across the land for the Israel-Gaza border. The Israel Defense Forces announced. Zamboanga City, Philippines. The Philippine Navy deployed its newest ship to establish a blockade around the island of Providence of Seoul to prevent the Abu Sayyaf group from fleeing. Seoul, a South Korean think tank, is proposing Seoul retain nuclear-powered submarines in response to the North Korea's sub-launch ballistic missile provocation. Caracas, Venezuela. Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro's opponents and supporters held rallies in which some violence occurred as a part of the recall referendum efforts. Riverton, Utah. The Butler jostled a Utah native in prison in Venezuela urged President Nicolas Maduro return to provide medical aid to her son Mayday. London's Parliament building needed a $5.3 billion upgrade will face a fire of a catastrophe, ministers were told. Astana, Kazakhstan. Karim Mazanov, the Prime Minister of Kazakhstan, has been dismissed by President Nursultan Nazarbayev and resigned to the National Security Committee. Los Angeles, the U.S. Air Force test launched an intercontinental ballistic missile on Monday. The same day, North Korea fired 3 mid-range missiles into the Sea of Japan. Yerevan, Armenia. Armenian Prime Minister Hovik Abraham has resigned after months of public protest for calling for social reform. Washington, an email sent to the Hill by her predecessor, the Secretary of State Colin Powell, detailed how he circulated the call using a private email address. San Juan, Puerto Rico. A woman was arrested by the FBI in Puerto Rico for alleged starting a fire during a JetBlue flight from New York. Merrimack, Massachusetts State Police say one person was killed and 5 others were injured when their van full of construction equipment whirled over on Interstate 495 in Merrimack. The Ford van crashed in the northbound side of the highway about 7:45 p.m. on Thursday. The crash barely ejected one person and spread daughter's tools and others across the road. Boston, Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren and a handful of fellow Democratic senators are demanding it explain its decision for abandon or formally carry after the insurance exchanges in New York in more than 2/3 of the country counties. For the first time in more than 2 years, the European Central Bank President Mario Draghi derated announced to do stimulus measures no signal today were in the pipeline news covered on Thursday. When the Airbnb wall block controversy exploded earlier this year, Eric Kohler was hardly shocked to hear that Airbnb hosts sometimes discriminate against their minority guests. Liberty Media says it was reached an agreement about a Formula One auto racing franchise from the $4.4 billion. Now that Dell has absorbed EMC and changed the name to Dell Technologies, the CEO of its major competitor is out drumming up fear and uncertainty about the new venture. St. Petersburg, Russia. Russian shipbuilder JSC Ed Reltelsky Murphy to construct the 6 new submarines of the Russian Navy. Linköping, Sweden. Sabbath its own air defense missiles to Latvia. Bremen, Germany. Airbus Defense and Space opened a new logistics center in Bremen, Germany that will mainly be used for A400 aircraft production, the company said. Rome. Land out of Canada signed a deal with the Danish military to provide the GBA mission system for the Army land vehicle fleet. The company announced. New York oil prices all the way rising in response to the decline in U.S. production estimated rallied further on Thursday after European Central Bank stood still. Alright, looking at the stocks, the Dow is down 40.65 points at 1844.77. SP 5 down 4.37 at $2,181.79. And Nasdaq up down 22.21 at 5,261.72. The NASA is launching an asteroid Zeppelin spaceport today. The star cluster Tarzan 5 is an image to the European Southern Observatory's very large telescope using data from the new multi-conjugate adapted optics demonstrator, which reveals a surprising mix of older and new star with a cluster. Scotland's real Quadrimontor Ichthyosaur fossil discovered in the Nile sky has spent decades waiting for modern technology to help paleontologists understand its mysteries. Singapore says unclear local Zika strain causes birth defects. The percentage of Americans who fall gluten-free diet is more than 3 times higher than the percentage of Americans who would celiac disease. A photo of the newborn twins captured held the first time they had touched went viral. Now thousands of online supporters are sending condolences to the parents following the death of one of the infants. Daily vitamin D supplements lower the risk and severity of asthmatic attacks, recorded a new review of 9 clinical trials. The analysts published in a Cochrane database of systematic reviews of both 435 children and 658 adults. White Plains, New York. Hillary Clinton busted Donald Trump Thursday about condemnation. American military journalists and praise for Russian partisan Vladimir Putin say the Republican opponent has failed at proving he can be. Washington, the top House Republicans Thursday accused Hillary Clinton of making a mess of records management when she led the State Department and frustrated and legitimate requests for information from Congress, media, and the Republic. Texas Senator John Cornyn said he won't be endorsing the fellow Republican Ted Cruz when the firebrand lawmakers up for re-election in 2018. The recent Russian hack and the Democrat and the National Committee computers and subsequent FBI warning that the 2 states' elected database has been a victim of cyber attack and raised a fear that a foreign power might penetrate the U.S. Peter Chell News Time is out 12:23 on this Thursday afternoon, and it's time now for Sports Report. Sox have the night off. Tomorrow they begin a 3-game series against the Toronto Blue Jays in Toronto, with the Sox having a 1-game lead on the Blue Jays for first place in the AL East. Adam Schefter reports that former NFL quarterback Tim Tebow signed a manual league deal with the New York Mets, and he will report the Arizona Fall League. The 30-year-old Englishman has beaten 36.45 to top 25, falls in the capital of the world. Welterweight Championship 2014 that he subsequently defended 3 times. The Cincinnati Bengals take on the New York Jets in Week 1 as much will be intense since the game was played on the 15th anniversary of the World Trade Center attacks. Peter Cello News Time is out 12:24 on this Thursday, and it's time now for a traffic and turn report on this Thursday afternoon. Let's dive off in the MBTA. Where on the MBTA subway SL5 Express and minor delays beginning at 8:30 a.m. due to traffic on Silver Line. Silver Line SL5 Express and minor delays of traffic, and Silver Line SL5 Express and minor delays due to disabled bus. On the commuter rail, Worcester train 11:55 a.m. from South Station operated 10:50 minutes behind schedule between South Station and Worcester due to track work. And on the ferries, they are looking good. Okay, looking at hours and bowies of New England on this Thursday afternoon. It is A4 eastbound side, also around Route 8 for Waterbury, Connecticut. Merritt Parkway westbound side, backed up after Route 7 in Norwalk. Route 4 at the northbound side, backed around in Narragansett Stretch. Route 3 at the northbound side, backed up in South Plymouth, Massachusetts. 495 at the southbound side, backed up from Route 9 and Route 90 Mass Pike in Westboro. 120 on the northbound side, Little Surround, Route 2 in Lexington, Route 120 on both ends back around, Route 3 in Burlington, Route 3 in southbound side, it is back around, Route 120 in Burlington. 91 in southbound side, it is back around, Holyoke switches around 391, Mass Barrier changes to 291 in Springfield, a little slow. Up in northern New England, Everett Turnpike on the northbound side, back around, Route 101 in Manchester, New Hampshire. 95 on the northbound side, back around, Route 202 in Augusta, Maine. Interstate 89, the northbound side back to after Route 2 in Montpelier, Vermont. 89 and 91 on the southbound side, also after the Canadian border. Up in northern Vermont, Ottawa 55 on the southbound side, also before US border in southern Quebec. And 87 on the southbound side, back around Route 11 up in Champlain, New York. And Interstate 87 on the northbound side, also on the 3 in Albany, New York. Peter Channel News Times now 12:26 on this Thursday afternoon, and it's time now for a weather report. And for this afternoon, it'll be Park South about 82 degrees, light available wind. Tonight, Cheshire that's will remain between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Park after 10 p.m. Otherwise, mostly Cascade about low about 69 degrees. Southwest about 3 to 6 miles an hour. Chesapeake 30%. Friday, patch about 4 9 a.m. Otherwise, mostly Cascade with higher 90 degrees. Westwood about 7 to 9 miles an hour. Friday night, Park Cascade about 61 degrees. Calm wind. For Saturday, most Cascade 81 degrees, light available wind. McKinnon southeast wind. Friday, 8 miles in the morning. Saturday night, Cheshire thunderstorms may after 10 p.m. Most gusts got about 67 degrees. Chesapeake 40%. Saturday, Cheshire before 1 p.m. Parts of most gusts got about 82 about 53 degrees. Chesapeake 40%. Monday, Saturday, most gusts got about 36 about 55 degrees. Tuesday, Saturday, Park got about 80 about 61 degrees. And for Wednesday, Cheshire parts of that got about 79 degrees. Chesapeake 30%. And looking at radar, and it shows patchy rain showers off the Marshfield, Massachusetts, around middle and out of Cape Downs. Currently, and not near is overcast skies, and it's 76 degrees. Humidity of 83%, and that is going to be it for the Peter Channel Afternoon News on the September 8, 2016 on a Thursday. I'm Peter, so you have a good afternoon with a good positive attitude, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you for the Peter Channel 5 o'clock news. Hope you have a good afternoon.